This week on The Big Picture, Fox News declares class warfare over Obama's budget speech, Dylan Ratigan fawns over Breitbart, and the right-wing media still think drilling has magic powers. Welcome to The Big Picture. I'm Lisa Reed. Today is Earth Day, and this week marked the first anniversary of the tragic Deepwater Horizon disaster that killed 11 and dumped oil across the Gulf Coast. And what are the conservative media saying in response? Drill, baby, drill. Still.
Open up our Anwar, get drilling offshore, let the shale in the western states be processed for oil. We could drill more oil rigs, put more oil rigs out in the Gulf. We could punch some holes in the ground at Anwar.
No, I know we don't.
No, we don't. Exactly right.
I'm sure you don't enjoy filling up your tank any more than I do or any other American. And that sits right in the lap of Barack Hussein Obama. It's his fault, and he's going to pay the price.
Yes, Fox Newsers are desperate to pretend that high gas prices are President Obama's fault. And they say a massive expansion of offshore drilling is the solution. Experts from across the political spectrum agree that that's just not true. But Fox and their allies just keep on selling this lie anyway. One of the biggest topics in the right-wing media this week was Obama's recent speech on the budget and the deficit. And, predictably, Obama's proposal to return some tax rates to Clinton-era levels, just 5 percentage points higher for a tiny minority of taxpayers, produced howls of class warfare on Fox. Hosts and guests of the self-proclaimed news network were all on message this week.
The president gearing up for what is expected to be a tax-the-rich road trip.
So rather than the deficit reduction tour, call it the Soak the Rich tour.
This is only about appealing to class war and trying to work to run on a poll-tested item, raising taxes for the rich.
After hearing the president's class warfare debacle of a speech yesterday afternoon and watching him declare war against job creators and small and medium business owners and entrepreneurs.
Are you buying that? Do you think that there is noble intent in the class warfare game?
It's just another example of how there's no difference between Fox News and opinion programming, and between either of those and Republican Party talking points. On Tuesday, MSNBC's Dylan Ratigan dropped the ball. Given the opportunity for a hard-hitting interview with notorious race-baiting right-wing activist Andrew Breitbart. Instead, Ratigan spent the entire segment pitching Breitbart softballs and lavishing him with praise.
I look at you and I see a smart man, I see an incredibly passionate and effective man, and I recognize that the media has been an incredibly robust and effective target for you.
Right.
But I look at you like a guy who's a sharpshooter who's good.
Yeah.
And he's up on the hill, and I'm like, why is he shooting over there? And I would love to continue this conversation. I congratulate you on the book.
Thank you, Dylan.
All right, Andrew Breitbart, the book, Righteous Indignation, Excuse Me While I Save the World, a humble man at your service.
Where were the questions about the deceptive tactics of his smear campaigns against Shirley Sherrod and Acorn? Where were the questions about the writers Breitbart promotes on his websites, or his questionable claims about Obama? What could have been an opportunity to confront Breitbart over his dishonesty and unethical behavior instead turned into a promotional platform? Dylan Ratigan, you should be embarrassed. You and everyone else should check out MediaMatters.org for the real story on Breitbart and what he should have been asked. We leave you this week with a clip from Glenn Beck's special episode on Israel. With time running out on his Fox TV career, it seems like Beck cares less than ever about being taken seriously. So he narrates his history of Israel in cartoon form. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next week.
And now, the history of the Middle East in a couple of minutes. Chapter 1. Around the turn of the century, the Jews decided, we need a homeland. What I'm looking for is a nice MLT, mutton, lettuce, and tomato sandwich, and maybe, I don't know, a homeland. So they all start an in-gathering. The Zionists are coming to reclaim the homeland. Palestinians, who aren't really called Palestinians, they're Syrians. They're kind of wandering around, tending their flocks, walking around basically in the desert. Find themselves with a bunch of Jews there in the desert with them. Would you like a nice MLT? Meanwhile, back in Britain, they're starting to ask themselves, Queenie, baby, what do we do? All these Jews are here. They're going to be starting picking fights now with the Arabs, and the Arabs aren't going to like it.
I don't know. Can't we just split the land?
Arabs don't like the idea. Wait a minute. Who are all these people coming in trying to take all of our land? We're the Jews. And let me tell you something. You know what this place really needs? Is a nice Jewish deli. Want some lox?